I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Good evening, this is Dr. Bones live for yet another new episode of Music Saturday, and tonight again making the third appearance as my guest critics. Welcome Nolan and Catherine from the Mad Andersons.
Thanks, hi everyone.
Thank you, glad to be back.
Oh, I love having you guys on, and one thing I will do is, you know, I played before, we will play either the first part or the second part, but we're going to play that collab you did with Darling Serpents, because like, my God, like I love that song. I can't say enough good things about it. Like I said before, Catherine, you just nailed it.
Oh, thanks. We've been really pleased with the response to it. You know, Eric and Rick just did such a fabulous job putting it together, and I'm sure they're listening tonight, or they will be. But yeah, that was a lot of fun to do, and we're really pleased with it. So I'm glad it's doing well.
Oh yeah, no, like I said, I played it a few times, and I just love that song. It was really good, and looking forward to more collaborations.
We are too.
So we're gonna kick it off tonight because I didn't get a chance last weekend. We're gonna start with Peter Klein, who's more of an ambient slash like electronic. There's kind of hard to nail it on the head of his genre of music, but we're gonna kick it off with him, and then we're gonna move into some more up tempo stuff. So the first one we're gonna listen to tonight is by Peter Klein, and it's called "Intellisexy." So check this out.
Okay.
All right, that was Peter Klein with Intellisexy, and very happy to hear this one just because I did listen to it last week, but didn't get a chance to play it. And you know, this one I really like because he's gone a different direction, and like we talked briefly before, with Peter Klein, you never know what you're gonna get from him because he can go from one end of the spectrum to the other. And this one, I was really appreciated just because it was kind of over the place and kind of like the flow, kind of the almost a high pitch, almost not necessarily reverb, but kind of the fading, almost like somewhat like whiny sound. I don't know what's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I like this one too, and yeah, it's always interesting to hear what this artist does. I really like the layering, and I like the drive, just the underlying beat that's going through it that really keeps it moving forward. So what you were talking about, flow. Yeah, I like this one a lot.
I've been a fan of Brian Eno and for a long time, and especially his work with David Byrne, and that's what I was reminded of here. I really like his choice of textures, and yet having, like Catherine was saying, that kind of driving undertone to it. Very nice, very nice.
Well, he's essentially more the old school sound because he's pretty much been like in New York like for most of that time period when it kind of started in the underground, kind of slowly started climbing up. So it's always interesting because he's got he's got a lot of that new influence, but the old school influence as well, which is always good to hear. So
yeah, that's a great tune.
Next up, we're gonna move into this band is going to be working on their third EP, and that's going to be out mid-September. And this is the first one off their new EP, and they just graciously let me know it's on SoundCloud. So if you guys want to download it, it's actually available for free download. And the song is called Vultures, and the band is Crosswire. So get ready for some good kind of punk rock sound. Dig this. All right, that was Crosswires with Vultures. Now, this was like a little different, believe it or not, from their last two EPs, meaning that it's a bit more gritty, kind of raw sound. But with this one, I noticed more of as far as structure to the song and just vocals. It's kind of got that almost kind of Sex Pistols slash kind of Clash sound. Sex Pistols is more the vocals and the kind of like I said, really kind of gritty, kind of like Nevermind the Bollocks, and you know the Clash. It's more got a bit more the sound structure, like as far as guitar and drumming, and the kind of quick breakdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So so this is I like I said, I've been flying Crosswires for a while, and I really like the song just because of all those aspects to it. And it's always interesting to see what they're going to come up with, because they change. Obviously, like most bands, they do evolve, and it's always cool because they're always kind of the go songs, as opposed to kind of like the what people like to call punk. It's more or less you're falling asleep to it.
Yeah, it was interesting to listen to some of their chord choices, and some of the tonalities were unexpected. So it's like they're taking a traditional punk format and adding to it and evolving. I think that's really cool that they would do that.
Yeah, mixing it up a bit.
Yeah.
Well, exactly, and that's always what's fun about some of the stuff is, you never know what you're gonna get. Meaning, like, you don't know how it's gonna flow and what stuff they're gonna bring up, because even though a band may be classified or defined as punk, doesn't necessarily mean they are. At least that's just my personal opinion. And it's one of those things that obviously you can put a label on just about anything, but it's frustrating at some points when they're put in that genre or that classification. Is like, they really aren't, or you're kind of way off base here, and that's the thing that drives me nuts a lot of times, especially with a lot of mainstream stuff. And I'll mention this just because this is two things actually, two bands, and in my personal opinion, wrong classification, at least from what they were to what they went to.
Mm-hmm.
First one would be Green Day. Dookie was more alternative than it was punk. If you go back to Kerplunk and those older albums, those were more kind of punk raw style. This was more like we'll call it punk pop.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was fitting that genre, but still defined as that. And I more or less saw it as punk pop or alternative. And I'm not taking anything away from them, but when they're getting that classification, still is like not really. I mean, it just and it's just a little frustrating to me. And the other one, and I'm a huge fan of ska music, and it's one of the music I grew up on. So I listen to bands like the Specials and the Selector and that sort of thing. And one band that was classified as ska, and I just irked me to no end, just because I'm just not a big fan of them as a whole. But no doubt with their old stuff before they hit the mainstream were classified as ska. It's like, this is not in any way, shape, or form. How could you do this?
Yeah.
I mean, I can be harsh, but I'm very, very picky of what I listen to, and when you hear classifications like that, it bugs me a little bit. Not to the point where I'm going to lose any sleep over it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly, and I agree with you absolutely, on no doubt. It's really hard to classify bands, so I have to say. Sometimes you just don't know where they fit in, so it's whatever's easiest. No,
very true. I mean, I understand that aspect, but I those are just two things that really for me. I mean, I pretty much thought it was plain simple, but like I said again, that's just my opinion. It's just what I thought. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next up, we're gonna check out a band called the Dirty Minds, but dirty spelled with a U instead of an I. So, but I checked these guys out about a week or two ago. Started following me and started looking stuff. I was like, this is pretty good stuff. So I want to introduce them this time around. This is the Dirty Works, and the song is called Nightmare.
I have a dream.
All right, that was the Dirty Works with Nightmare. Now, this one reminds me a lot of the 70s, especially structure-wise, as far as like kind of chord changes, the solo following a certain pattern, and just the way kind of flow, kind of the kind of up and down, still mellow but cool. And it's one of those things that you can sit back and just like it just automatically reminds you of that time period. At least it does for me. And I just love the fact that also this song is almost like a good jam tune as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just one of those things you can add a lot to it. So it just really kind of stuck out for me. And this was the first one I listened to, so I wanted to play this one.
Yeah, I really like this one. It sort of has a psychedelic, atmospheric rock feel to it. I love the groove on it. And I love the tempo of it, actually. It just settles in really nicely. Love the effects. I just really like that one a lot.
The vocals reminded me a lot of the Moody Blues.
Oh, yeah.
Good point. I never even thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, I could just hear those guys playing that song. It's very nice, very, very well done. And
you know what? Ironically, speaking of the Moody Blues, obviously since it's Labor Day weekend, there's a lot of marathons going on right now and stuff. A lot of stuff you've seen like a million times. And I sat down to watch The Simpsons because they're doing a marathon.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the ones was when he and Flanders go to Vegas and they get married again when they're really hammered and don't realize it. So they try to get away and they hit one direction, you know, it's the boxer. They hit their direction. It's like, the Moody Blues. And they're all standing there. So I just had to mention that just because like I literally just saw that episode today again. I haven't seen it in a long time, but it was one of those really, really funny ones. That the most ridiculous stuff you could think of happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, good point. But with Moody Blues, I should listen again. I got a couple of vinyls downstairs I can pop on at some point. But let's get into the next song. And I've been trying to think of which way I'm going to go. But I've decided on another one by Migrant Worker. And this one's called Blend Away Gray.
These walls around me seem so tragically thin. They crack the surface, they show what's within. A time to dwell on this plight that we hide. Act deflection reflects the inside. Aims more or less the appeal of scores of souls that are less than unique. Each passing sentence committed no crimes except the lie that makes us all blind. I gave you wings so you can fall from the sky. Expose the lullabies defined in your smile. This pretty picture, it began in a lie. A home that tattered, torn and defiled. To place a curse on these people of yours. Noise breaks us down, it destroys all the walls. Your unforced grasp, it falls to the ground. My little Icarus, safe and sound. Grim shroud around while you sleep. Thief suspense defends your belief. The other ones who follow the route, they take the path and ignore all your rules. One's your peers and your fools. Agree you're right, but Licorice crash beat falls to the ground. My little licorice safe and sound.
All right, that was Migrant Worker with Blend Away Gray. Yet another cool tune, and the whole album is just nice, and it's because it's different. It's got the same sort of like kind of maybe not the same sort of song structure, but it works differently, and they kind of give you a taste of a lot of different aspects of, we'll call it the rock genre. And this one in particular is a little bit more mellow, but still a really good tune. And a couple of things I wanted to tell you guys about Migrant Worker is I was just telling Nolan and Catherine when the song was on, is that this whole album was done by email, first off. And a lot of the songs, the name titles pretty much, they kind of pulled out of the air or just pulled from somewhere else. So they weren't necessarily, the names weren't necessarily thought about, but regardless of that, somehow the music seems to go with the lyrics seem to go with the title anyways.
Yeah. I really like this. I thought the vocals were just really effective, very emotional. I couldn't understand all the lyrics because we're listening on laptops, but I really liked the vocals a lot. I thought everything just fit together beautifully. I love the atmosphere and everything about it. It was great.
I thought that the kind of the tone and delivery of his voice was very reminiscent of Michael Jackson on his better stuff. I'm not a big Michael Jackson fan, but
I never would have put that one together.
I never would have picked that one out either.
You meant it as a compliment, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a great tune.
All right, so next up, we're gonna move into.
Okay.
Okay, let's.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I was not expecting that one. No. But no, that was awesome. Though we can always count you for gold like that. So next up, we're gonna get into a band called Disappearer, and the song is called "Good Night, Mr. Frankenstein." Dig this. All right, that was Disappear with Good Night, Mr. Frankenstein. Now, this one I thought was very well done just because they seemed to kind of mix that kind of psychedelic rock with actual rock and made it sound like really good. There's that kind of perfect mix there. If you know what I'm, if you know what
Yeah, absolutely. Tonight's show is really going well. It's such great music. I like this one a lot. I like the fact that it has a slow build to it, and the drama is it's kept in check, but it was very, very effective. And the fact that it didn't really resolve and it sort of keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's just very dramatic. I really liked it.
Nolan?
Yeah.
He's not going to.
I can't get over my Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
We can't either.
No, I enjoyed this very much. It was a lot of interesting stuff going on over the top of it. I would like to hear it. That's one of those headphone kind of songs.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great job.
You know, and that's the best part with a lot of stuff with headphones, especially for me, because I go on a lot of walks, stuff like that, and there's nothing better than popping the headphones on, and then I'm gone for hours.
Yeah. Just listen.
Yeah. And it's nice because you notice you hear so much more too. It's like I never noticed that before, and there's been a bunch of times. There's been a few songs I've heard like a dozen times, and then I'll listen to it again with headphones. Like, how did I miss that?
Exactly. On your shows, I usually listen to them through headphones so I can really hear what's going on. So.
Oh yeah, and that's the most fun part about it because there's always something else that sticks out. Yep. Next up, we're going to move to Analog Wave. This is off their new album, Casimir, which, by the way, is just phenomenal. I mean, they put a lot of hard work into this, and you can tell, I mean, they really poured their heart and soul in this album, and it just stands out so well. And their first album was great, but this album just blows it out of the water, as far as I'm concerned. So, check this out. This is Analog Wave with Half Light. Dig this.
Can you see me in the dark room, in the corner, babe, in this cold room? A southern man with no final stand in the darkness. Can you feel me through the half-light, like a sulfur man on a dark night, a tortured man with no battle plan in the darkness? I think we've gone too far to save me. We've gone too far, oh, to save me. As it burns bright, like a dying bird on its last flight, a thief at life with one final charge. Can you save me?
Analog Wave with Half Light. Yeah, I know. And that's why I said the entire album, when I listened it all the way through, I couldn't believe what a good job they did. And and they were actually, I think they have one in the mail for me. But anyways, I interviewed them before and listened to their albums, and they gave me all their stuff. And it just, the amount of change from the first album to the next album is unbelievable. And I'm telling you, if you heard the first one, which is essentially self-titled, it's just kind of, it's abbreviated with a bunch of periods, so, and the letters are a little bit jumbled up. But this album, Casimir, is just, it's unbelievable. And it's just one of those things, like this, one of those albums, like, it just blew my mind when I heard it. I can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, just from what I heard just now, I would have to. I absolutely believe you and agree with you. I liked it start to finish. I love the rhythm breakdown at the end. I loved everything about it, and kudos to their production. I don't know if they self-produce or if they have somebody do it, but even through laptop speakers, it sounds awesome. I mean, it's just, I can't wait to hear the rest of the album.
Well,
yeah, I love the layering of different tones and different instruments, and the guy's vocals are great.
Yeah.
Really glued it all together.
Yeah, it's just really top rate.
Well, as far as I know, they do their own producing. And fun fact about them is their first album, they did everything themselves, fronted all the money, the whole deal. Uh-huh. And they did extremely well. I mean, they were like one of the top albums of the year in their area in Ireland. And there's a lot of top head articles, and they did a Kickstarter project for this one. And you can tell they just put so much into it. So it's one of those things, they worked hard and they got a name for themselves. Now they got this stellar album coming out, because it's not officially released until, I believe, it's the 26th.
Uh-huh.
And so it's just crazy to think of where they may go, because this is one band that, who knows, may hit the big time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all the work that they put into it is very, very evident and very worthwhile. So great job, guys.
Yeah. And the cool thing too is there's another guy from Ireland, like really big fan of his, Grim, and they, because of the show and that sort of thing, they started talking on Twitter, and they haven't done anything yet, but they're working on possibly doing a collaboration or like remixes of some of the songs. So I'd be really interested to see that. So if you guys haven't checked out Grim, you can check them out too, and you can see what the possibilities are, because they're pretty much endless.
Oh, that's fun.
Fantastic.
So I hope that happens. But but next up, the kind of keep in sync with the music we've been playing. And this is your guys' collaboration with Darling Serpents. And like I said, absolutely love the song. So we're going to give it big props tonight. This will be the last song of Music Saturday Part 1. Here we go with our special guest and Darling Serpents for Drop of Water.
Thank you.
Defective, you discount what you hear.
All right, that was Darling Serpents featuring Matt Andersons, and obviously there's you guys, and I can't say enough good things about the song. I just love it so much, from the vocals to the breakdown of the guitar, everything. It just really good. So we're pretty much out of time, but we'll be back in about 5-10 minutes for New Saturday Part 2. So I hope you all enjoyed Part 1. In about 5-10 minutes we'll be back. Until then, Bones out with Matt Andersons. We'll be right back.